shootings in 24 hours, folks. One in Michigan at a Mormon church. One in Texas at a casino. This morning in New Orleans. Yesterday, 2 in South Carolina and another one in Louisiana. And let's be clear, as I was researching all of this, the search engine was taking off some of these shootings. When you search, the links are no longer taking you to the websites. And I really wish I had gotten a screen grab of this, but I typed in the search bar, mass shootings in the last 24 hours. They gave me 6 of them, like I just told you here. I clicked over to the news tab, absolutely no information about it. So I clicked back to the search tab, and then all of a sudden, only 4 were showing up. Information is actively being kept from us, guys.
Evil has come ashore in Southport, North Carolina. The thin veneer of peace and tranquility which has enveloped this idyllic waterfront community was shattered last night by gunfire that came from the water.
At approximately 9:30, members of the Southport Police Department were dispatched to cause of shots fired with multiple injuries at the American Fish Company. Reports came in rapidly of a boat sitting in the waterway, reports of a subject shooting multiple patrons of the establishment. The boat fled the ICW toward the Oak Island Bridge. Shortly after 10 p.m., the Coast Guard observed a single individual matching the description of the shooter loading their boat at a public boat ramp. Coast Guard crews detained the suspect.
Yes, Nigel Edge is a resident of Oak Island. We are familiar with him at the police department, so I want to acknowledge that as well.
I will say that North Carolina is a state for which the death penalty is a potential, and my office does seek it in appropriate cases.
Tonight, the suspect was taken into custody a short time later in Oak Island, and CBS 17's Haley Kennedy joins us now. And Haley, tell us more about the man who remains in custody this hour.
Well, this is suspect 40-year-old Nigel Edge, and he has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder. People who live in Southport say the shooting has shaken their small tourist town. Outside American Fish Company in Southport, the sound of bagpipes fills the air. And flowers cover the front steps as this small town mourns a Saturday night mass shooting.
Shocked that it's here. You know, you always hear about it in the bigger places and not in more of a smaller community like this, and that was very shocking.
40-year-old Nigel Edge is accused of shooting at a crowd of people at the waterfront restaurant from a boat.
We believe that this was a targeted location. We appear that he acted in what we call a lone wolf. He acted alone. This is highly premeditated from what we're seeing at this time.
Edge arrested by the Coast Guard at a public boat entrance on Oak Island, right next to Raleigh native Reggie Swicegood's family marina.
I can't believe that this happened in my backyard and front yard. Literally, backyard being Southport, front yard being right there on my property, right next to it.
District Attorney John Davis says that the only thing these victims had in common is that they were tourists enjoying Southport and the music playing.
Ironically enough, at the very place which once served as a backdrop to the movie Safe Haven. And that name is symbolic of the way in which the people in our community view this area.
Now locals say they're being more aware of their surroundings.
I think for now we'll have an eye on the water. You're so used to looking everywhere else and you're not used to looking there. That'll just be another thing we'll have to add.
Now Edge is expected to be in court tomorrow.
And Haley, we've also learned Edge was no stranger to that area, and police say he frequented several bars and restaurants there.
Yeah, I'm told that he has been seen from the public boat entrance multiple times, and police say that he self-identifies as a combat veteran suffering from PTSD. Now, the DA says he does not have much of a criminal history in North Carolina, but they are looking into other states. Now, Edge has filed multiple lawsuits against the town of Southport and the police department over the past couple of years.
What we know right now is that a 40-year-old suspect from Burton, he's a male, he drove his vehicle through the front doors of the church. He then exited his vehicle, firing several rounds at individuals within the church. 10 gunshot victims have been transported to local hospitals at this time, including one who has been deceased. Officers who were trained immediately responded to the area. One was a DNR officer, and then one was a Grand Blanc Township officer, where they met the suspect and they engaged in gunfire with that particular individual, neutralizing that suspect, and that suspect is no longer with us. As I said, it is a 40-year-old male from Burton. During all this incident as well, there was a fire that occurred, and we believe that was deliberately set by the suspect. We do believe that we will find additional victims once we have that scene secure. That fire was just extinguished by the Grand Blanc Township Fire Department within the past hour.
Every time there's a shooting and it's a white man, notice the silence around race. When it's a black man, Latino man, Asian man, that detail comes out front and center before the name's even released. Black male suspect, Hispanic suspect, suspect of Asian descent. They put the race in bold, underlined italics like that's the damn headline itself. But here, 40-year-old suspect, no race, no description, just suspect. That omission is the description. That's the tell. Because if it had been anybody other than a white man, they would have been sure to paint that picture instantly. And that is a dog whistle of white privilege. See, whiteness gets to be faceless, raceless, just an individual, while everybody else gets racialized. The bigger point is that yet another church was shot up. A so-called sanctuary violated again, just like black churches have been for centuries, targets of white violence. That same political violence that they tried to condemn when it came to CK. Just like mosques, synagogues, and temples too. The cycle keeps repeating because America won't face itself. Now in America, guns are sacred, whiteness is protected, and non-white lives, expendable.
A shooting in Texas tonight at the Kickapoo Casino in Eagle Pass, Texas. What we're being told right now, according to the Eagle Pass Leader News, 2 have been killed, 4 are critically injured, and according to what we've heard, they've been flown to San Antonio, Texas for treatment. What we're being told and what we've heard is just somebody started shooting that caused panic. We're being told that this was in the parking lot, although I'm telling you right now, what we're getting right now, it is late, so we don't know all the information for sure. We're looking for people to see what they say about it as well who were there, but we also heard that the shooting took place in the parking lot. So again, an unfortunate incident tonight in Eagle Pass, Texas. There's not a lot of news right now. What we're getting is bits and pieces coming in. But again, a shooting. We're being told 2 people have died in this shooting, 4 critically injured at the Kickapoo Casino, again in Eagle Pass, Texas. So again, awful news tonight coming out of Texas. This is breaking news at this moment. As soon as we get more information, we'll pass it along.
Breaking news. Man, I seen this post today. I was like, what the heck's going on in Texas? This can't be. Look what it says here. 3 men have been arrested in Texas after they reportedly shot a youth baseball coach who was saying a prayer on the field with his team. The coach is currently recovering. Suspects' names: Mahmoud Rababa, Ahmad Mawad, Mustafa Matalagga. So I'm thinking, oh my God, this must have been a Muslim thing. And I'm on Twitter, I'm on X, and I'm seeing post after post about this. And man, they are villainizing Islam because of this thing. And I was like, oh man, what happened? What happened? But guess what, guys? This happened. I live in Houston, And these guys were bird hunting in some woods near their ball fields. The shootings, per the sheriff, were 100% reckless but unintentional. Investigators are continuing to look into it. So it was a complete accident. It sounds like, I've read a few more things, and it said it sounds like the bullet ricocheted off somewhere and went towards the football field and hit this coach. And he was not praying as well. What happened was, after he got shot, somebody came down and prayed over him. So it went from 3 Muslims, oh my God, shot a football coach in Texas, and now they weren't supposed to be hunting. It was illegal because it was illegal to hunt on that field where they were at, but it was not intentional. It was an accident. They'll probably get arrested for it. Obviously, they're going to get arrested and probably get charged, but it's not because they are Muslim. It's not because they are Christian. That's reckless, is what they're doing on X right now. It's been non-stop on X. I got more to show you. My next post. It's getting out of hand.
We have some breaking news coming out of Spotsylvania County, Virginia, where apparently at around 5:30 p.m. local time, a mass shooting occurred, leaving 3 people dead and 3 people injured. Now, bear in mind, this is still a developing story. We don't have a ton of information out there, and things could change as new information comes in. Anyways, the initial calls started coming in at around 5:30 p.m. and then at 7:45 p.m. local time, which was about 30 or so minutes ago, they were able to declare 3 people dead and take 3 people to the hospital. Yet at this point in time, we don't know what kind of condition those people are in. On top of that, at this moment in time, police have not released the names, ages, genders, anything like that, any identifying information about any of the victims. My guess is they're probably trying to reach out to family first. The other things I can tell you is that the suspect is still at large for this. They have not apprehended anybody, and based on the photos, this appears to have happened in a more residential area and looks like a fairly nice residential area as well. Now, all that said, I will be trying to keep an eye on this and give you guys more information once we have that. Make sure to hit that follow button if you don't already, and drop your thoughts about this one in the comments. But yeah, you know, mass shooting, another day in America, right?
Breaking news this morning, Houston police say that 3 people were shot outside of a bar on North Main. Officers say a man was taken out by the bar security, and then that is when the man's friends began attacking the guard. One guard claims he felt someone reach for his gun, and at that point, we're told, he pulled it and began firing. 3 men involved were shot and taken to the hospital. There is no word on if the guard who fired that gun will face any charges.
I want to start this video off by saying a mass shooting event, it only needs 4 people. So according to news outlets, guys, there was another mass shooting event that occurred on Bourbon Street. Now, this one involved a female. She was pronounced dead at the scene, and 3 others that were injured. Now, they're saying 2 were injured at the scene, and they found 1 woman like a block or so away. This happened on the 200 block of Bourbon Street around 2:22 this morning. And police are asking for the public help because they don't really have any leads on the suspects in this case. They just know it's 4 individuals they're looking for, I believe some women and men, and they said that the male suspect is the one that they really want because he's the one that pulled the trigger, and the others are just like accessories, you know. So that happened, and I'll keep you guys updated in the comments. Don't forget to like, follow, and share for more. And if you made it this far, I got 2 more stories, 2 more mass shootings to report. So stay tuned.
Invasion, those injured fleeing to different areas there in the valley and nearby. Now, Phoenix PD has worked throughout the evening to put all of the pieces together in this multifaceted story, and here is what they've determined so far. We've got 3 scenes: a Burger King, a car crash on a nearby road, and a home. It all started inside the home, according to officers. Around 9 p.m., they responded to a call of a shooting here, and as they were driving over, they saw a car car crash on 24th Street and Southern. An officer stopped the police car to see if the people inside were okay. That's when he saw one person was shot and bleeding. And at that time, there was another 911 call, this time for reports of another injured person at the Burger King who was also suffering from gunshot wounds. And when police finally made it here to the home, they made a grisly discovery. 2 men found dead inside, a third person dead in a nearby alley. Phoenix police detectives say it was an armed home invasion with gunfire being exchanged both ways. They deduced that the 2 men inside the home were the suspects trying to get in, and the third man in the alley was a person inside who was trying to escape. Police say that's how the other 2 scenes, the Burger King and car crash, are related to.
One of the victims here at the residence that was shot recognized the vehicle and the driver and waved them down and asked to be taken to the hospital. And that's how, as they were leaving the area, I think they were looking down at the phone to try to put in a hospital address, and that's how the collision occurred.
Why is the news not talking about this? The U.S. National Counterterrorism Center warns of threat from al-Qaeda, a very real threat. So the U.S. National Counterterrorism Center said on Friday that recent calls by al-Qaeda for attacks against the United States showed the group's enduring threat to the country. Huh? So apparently al-Qaeda and its Yemen-based affiliate, Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, AQAP, are likely seeking to leverage their media publications in global conflicts, particularly where there's U.S. support or military involvement. Now, memos have been sent to government officials and police. The memo urged government officials to avoid surveillance, to not post or publicly share details about travel plans, schedules, and locations, and to remove badges and other forms of identification outside of work. Now, this is worrisome. It also warned of potential threats to targets that draw large crowds, including sport and music events, and urged law enforcement presence at those events, along with organizing pre-event briefings on security measures. A report by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security issued late last year said that al-Qaeda was committed to striking the U.S. and had reinvigorated its outreach to Western audiences. The intel community is even saying there's 1,000+ very well-trained soldiers over here, just waiting to attack. Now, what's crazy is none of this is in our news, but it's in the Jerusalem Post. In fact, it's all over Israel media. But they're not telling us, the Americans. People, the intelligence community has been warning us about this for a while.
So allegedly, Al-Qaeda has over 1,000 trained assassins in the U.S. right now. And there has been a warning issued to America. And guess who the warning is towards? Churches. Yes, the warning is towards churches. And I know that we've talked about sleeper cells so many different times, but how many different groups of sleeper cells do we have in the U.S.? If you're a Christian and you go to church, you need to have your head on a swivel. If you're a Christian in general, you need to have your head on a swivel. If you're an American, you need to have your head on a swivel. Churches, schools, grocery stores, everywhere is a target. It's really crazy the times that we're living in. If y'all don't see it right now, y'all will never see it. It's very clear the attack has always been on children in the church. Children and Jesus. That's what the attack has always been on. Children and Jesus. Since the dawn of time, that has been what the attack has been on, is children and Jesus. Look around and look at every single thing that's going on in the world and tell me what the attack is on. Make sure you guys are paying attention to your surroundings, because things like this could happen at any moment. I mean, today there was already a shooting in Michigan at a church. And as of right now, I don't think it was somebody from Al-Qaeda or a trained person from Al-Qaeda. It was just an American. So we have to worry about domestic terrorism as well as national terrorism. This is insane.
There was another shooting at an ICE facility in Texas yesterday. Terrible. Detainees were killed. The FBI director posted on social media bullets that were engraved with the message anti-ICE. Right. He just posted another thing on social media saying they recovered a handwritten note from the subject that read, "Hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror to think, is there a sniper with AP rounds on that roof?" Who do you hold responsible for the uptick in left-wing violence in the country?
Radical left rhetoric. The radical left is causing the problem. They're out of control. They're saying things, and they're really dumb people. I mean, I look at Crockett, I look at some of these people, they're very low IQ people, actually. But the radical left is causing this problem. Not the right, the radical left. And it's going to get worse, and ultimately it's going to go back on them. I mean, bad things happen when they play these games. And I'll give you a little clue. The right is a lot tougher than the left. But the right's not doing this. They're not doing it, and they better not get them energized, because it won't be good for the left. And I don't want to see that happen either. I'm the president of all the people. But the radical left is causing this. Radical left Democrats are causing this problem. And it gets worse. It gets worse. And it'll be a point where other people won't take it anymore. And that will not be good for the radical left. And we don't want that.